Six a.m. I follow the instructions from the conference organizers mentioned in the invitation letter, and the adventure begins. The geolocation on the invitation leads me to a huge empty hangar in the middle of nowhere, 2 hours outside the city. A white vehicle parks in front of me. From the outside, it does not look too different from a regular car, except for the fact that it hovers above the ground. And, where is the driver?
I buckle my seatbelt and sink deep into the seat while the vehicle rushes at 200 miles an hour through landscapes and cities. For a moment, I seem to lose consciousness. When I open my eyes again, the car takes a short turn to the left, through a metal fence. We are approaching Zone A, the speaker announces. The landscape consists of impressive geological formations, as if the wind has sculptured mountains and canyons with a mixture of salt, clay, and gypsum. No light and no humidity. No wonder all these vehicles hover. Tires would blow out when touching the surface.
The final part of the journey leads us through a few small but beautiful forests. Finally, the floating vehicle drops me off at a black portal called Mandrake, a twilight zone between the outer world and La Biomista, a green zone that hosts only a small amount of citizens on a permanent basis. The place where the conference will be held.
Welcome, Amarante. I turn towards the smiling face of a half-human, half-robot, with a bionic arm and a flashy pair of lungs attached to the chest area. An advanced merge between man-made and organic material, so it seems. While we are walking towards the checkpoint, the cyborg explains the mission of La Biomista. A robot turns its camera eye to me and takes a full body scan. They pull a big fancy box out of a pile and hand it to me. It contains something between a hazmat suit and high-tech fashion animal skin.
Coming from the worst plague of the last century, you will have to isolate the viral load you potentially carry. It has taken years to control the virus of your time.
Then I get my biovisor helmet, a big egg-shaped mask covering my head and shoulders. With its integrated air purifying system, the biovisor filters both the air coming in and the air exhaled out by the wearer. The system eliminates the negative impact of the pollutants, allergens, and pathogens in the air breathed, and it prevents me from potentially infecting others. A big arrow appears on the central display of the Mandrake Lodge. It points to the right, where a futuristic air-floating horse carriage awaits.
All aboard of La Biomista's Open University of Diversity shuttle, shouts the horse. Your guided tour of the La Biomista Park is about to begin.
A flock of twittering artificial birds enter the wagon. One of them lands on my shoulder, introducing itself as P, my personal assistant for the conference.
Back in 2019, the renowned Belgian artist Koen van Mechelen started the Open University of Diversity as a meeting and learning place for all types of species. La Biomista is a site on the foundations of the mining pass and the former zoo called Black Mountain, the Garden of Order and Chaos, an area of culture and nature where cross-fertilization between different species happen and research has integrated in daily life.
While I'm trying to get used to the small bird tooting in my ear, I pick up that Labio Vista has become a cooperative with more than 1,000 shareholders that form a representation of all living things. This group collectively decides and manages the programs and terrain. Birds, natural ones, make up almost 30% of these shareholders. New species are introduced every day, as are new language registers and tools to transfer thoughts from one species to another. Sounds promising.
5 hours of battery life and a couple of BioVisor reserve filters later, I'm hooked onto a cable in my new suit.
You are now attached to the portable system. Keep your limbs close to the body and relax.
A linear pattern of cables stretches like a nervous system over the terrain and moves along with the obstacles it encounters on its way. Transported by this constantly evolving system, I pass the conference zone. This appears to be the central part of the Labioista park. It's nerve-wracking, from where the cables spread over the park. The ring also connects with the communal facilities and with the personal spaces of inhabitants of the park. Humans reside in garden plots carefully positioned in between birds' nests and the cattle. Oops! Oncoming traffic. The portable immediately corrects the pathways of both travelers. Each course seems to be self-controlled, clearly the result of some exquisite biomimicry engineering. The portable carries me to the outskirts of the park and leaves me on a platform in front of a majestic door. The pot, hidden behind the door, is spacious and beautiful. The green wallpaper reflects different shades over the modern furniture. I look for a light button when suddenly a cloud of fireflies lights up above my head.
They sense when you are in and then respond, you know.
A friendly face appears at the door.
Hi, I'm Honey. I also come from 2025, but it's my second time at the conference. I'm starting to know how things work over here.
She looks elegant in her reptile skin. I quickly introduce myself as a transdisciplinary researcher specializing in social, methodological, and theoretical innovation programs. Honey is a futurist working around the co-creation of future stories.
You can take the suit off when you are in your pot, but remember to put it back on. When you go out, the portable will throw you right back to the platform if you don't wear it.
I spend some time with Honey on the platform. We see others arrive, each wearing a slightly different suit. One of the delegates seems to be in trouble. Her hair is entangled in the cord, and she's trying to grab a ladder to the platform closest to us.
That's what happens when you move a bit too enthusiastically.
Honey says, while making her way up to provide assistance.
Phew! I thought I'd never get down here. Thanks for the help. I'm Abel. I research urban development and informal settlements. Nice to meet you.
The sweat curls are dropping from her forehead. The window of her BioVisor helmet lifts up.
The condensation happens because you are wearing an older model. Look, Ness over there has the same problem. These models also have lousy acoustics.
Well, I must be able to swap it for a modern version, no? What if I'm not able to communicate at the conference?
Use your Twitter bird to pass the message on. Works perfectly.
I go back to my pot that carries the label diversity. The pot on my left side has immunity above its door. The one on the right, fertility. I wonder how I ended up in the awkward situation of being locked up in a pot with the very purpose of thinking outside the box.
The conference starts in 10 minutes. I slowly make my way to the portable and take the time to study the environment in more detail. I spot a couple of mating llamas next to a group of dancing storks. It strikes me that there are no fences and all animals can graze wherever they want. An owl sits still on a wall. Wait, it has the head of a monkey, an advanced form of genetic manipulation that connects two seemingly non-crossable animals. A wolf with glass nipples moves in the opposite direction, while a herd of Galloway cows takes shelter under the moringa trees. I am approaching the central conference zone. The portable pauses abruptly next to a small egg-shaped unit. It opens and I get dropped into a chair behind the table. I see the other participants around me, all in their own units. The guests are from all parts of the world, from different disciplines and 3 different eras: the past, Pony, Abel's, Ness and I, the present and the future. 2 guests from the year 2200. The topic for discussion is how to best live with the virus instead of fighting against it. Amongst the participants, we also have a chicken, the White Nile, Planet Mars, and the COVID-25 virus. The last 4 represented by a bot, programmed to translate thoughts, flow, and movement into language. It was the virus that filed the initial complaint that has led to this discussion. The chicken kicks off the conference meeting with a statement that it is necessary to delve beneath the molecules level.
We should discover a world of genes, historical threads, chemistry and sparks, where place and organisms pulsate together or apart.
He continues with the statement that speciesism is the main culprit of violence against all that is not human, including the virus.
It's indeed a clumsy and cumbersome concept.
The White Nile stresses. Planet Mars again.
Personally, it's a problematic concept as well. It was revisited years ago, but nevertheless keeps on influencing people's thought system. Beings would be a better alternative, no?
The virus nods.
Indeed. What is so problematic about me wanting to reside in a human lung? I mean, surely we can figure things out without me being fervently chased to the edge of extinction.
While I find the discussion interesting, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I can't seem to figure out the source of my discomfort, but I feel I have nothing to ask. Perhaps I am too focused on my own sensory experience of sitting in a unit in which I don't smell anything, and I can hardly hear what's happening in the surroundings. I can imagine other delegates' senses are better developed. Luckily, the chair of the meeting announces a small break. Good. I could use some physical contact with fellow delegates. Now that we have the skins and the helmets available, why not take advantage of it to take a walk in the park?
Do you want to know how this story begins and continues, and what we have actually learned from it? Please check on our latest publications.